Banks is mild. I'm in a silly bucket hat and I'm sat in a sauna in Finland. I've somehow managed to get Banks is mild to Finland, and we're going to try it today. I've talked a lot about Banks is mild in recent videos. It's a British institution, especially around the Midlands. It's brewed in Wolverhampton, and some big news recently is that it's a brewery that's going to be no longer. They're going to cease production, so you're not going to be able to get Banks is mild for much longer. So go out and grab it while you still can, because it is a classic beer in England. If you can find it on cask in a pub somewhere near you, go and have a pint of it, because yeah, like I said, it's gonna cease to exist. So it is brewed in Wolverhampton, in the Black Country. It was an absolute staple in pubs around there, but also, you know, branching out. Milds in general, as I've explained before, are a beer style that were like pretty much number one throughout England for a long time. And then they lost out obviously to your macro lagers and now your kind of IPA and the craft beer craze. But mild as a style has managed to just about stick around. It keeps coming back and people think it's cool to drink something that's like old fashioned or whatever. It can be kind of, you know, when people think of mild, they think of that old man in the corner of the pub. It's got a flat cap on and maybe a walking stick and a tweed jacket or something, or, you know, or it's talking about the miners' strike back in the day or whatever. But no, I love milds. I was quite late to get into them, but since I've been drinking them, I've loved them. I brewed my own mild. I just won an actual bronze medal in a Swiss brewing competition with a dark mild. So, I mean, if you want to know more about milds as a style, I would go to the Craft Beer channel. They've got a video on what even is a mild, where they explain a bit about the history. But in terms of modern times, I guess you kind of get two different types of milds. One is a dark mild that most people would associate with mild, which is almost like a mild porter in a sense that it's like a dark beer that is kind of roasty, a little bit caramel, a little bit chocolatey, light on the hopping, hints of fruit, quite malty, low ABV. So this one's about 3.5%, so around that 3.5% ABV, and just super easy drinking, sessionable. And then you have like mild, which I guess it kind of spins off like those kind of English pale ales or your best bitters, that they made kind of less in your face in terms of hops, and low ABV and kind of maybe slightly darker, with it, you know, bit more kind of caramelly, kind of best bittery, but like sessionable. So I'm not sure which way this is going. This has got a very dark can, so maybe it's dark mild, but I'm not sure because, you know, it's referred to as a mild, and this brewery's been around since 1875, so absolutely no idea. My beer that I brewed is a dark mild, and I wanted to go for this kind of like well done toast, almost burnt toast, with kind of dark berries like black currants, blackberries. So interesting to see what the fruitiness of this is, how dark it is, how malty it is, etc. But I'm sure it's going to be fantastic because, like I said, it's been an institution around the country for a long time. A lot of people swear by this. One strange thing on the can, you can see the apostrophe S. So for me, I read it kind of like a Banksis, which is which is a bit weird. I don't know if that's just old English or if I need to get back into the classroom and relearn when you add an S onto the apostrophe of an S. For me, I thought it was no S after the S, but who knows, man? Who knows? So yeah, got myself a big can. You can still find this on Amazon. Actually, I think I got this from, I ordered a bunch of beers from Amazon. I saw that this was still there, so you can pick up 4 cans for this from Amazon. You won't be able to do that for much longer because they're not going to exist, and I think I don't know if they're still brewing, but I think by the end of this year they'll be done, operations done. So get yourself a Banks' mug while you still can. Not going to explain why I'm sat in a sauna. That's a mystery for the ages. But Let's crack this mild open and see how bloody mild it is. All right, that has poured beautifully. It has got a kind of off-white head on it, and then just in color, it is, I'd say it's like a chestnut kind of color. It's not dark like you would see in other dark milds. It's not your kind of porter dark, and it's not like super light like like a pale ale. So it's right in between there. It's a beautiful color actually, and it's very bright. Let's see how it smells. Yeah, I mean, that is giving you the kind of malt sweetness there. Very kind of light hint of fruit. I don't know if it's kind of like a hinting at like cherry or that kind of dark fruit notes. And then, yeah, kind of almost like caramel on the hints. In terms of milds, you're not going to get something that really smacks you in the face in terms of aroma. It is exactly what it says on the tin. It is mild. So yeah, nothing's going to really jump out at you, but you still get a decent whiff. It does smell like it's going to be a gulper. Carbonation looks quite light. I mean, it poured with a decent head, but that's gone quite quickly, and you can't really see much going on in terms of bubbles. There is a few, but yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be quite lightly carved. So let's see. Yeah, man. So what have we got here? Beautiful beer, absolutely beautiful. I can see why this was so popular around the Black Country and beyond. So it's got a decent malt backbone to it, slightly roasty. Starts off with a nice sweetness, then goes into that kind of bitterness that follows it up. Yeah, you're getting that kind of hint of coffee that is married in with that kind of caramel and kind of toast maltiness. It's nothing crazy in terms of dark mild where you can get like super like chocolatey or like coffee chocolatey, that leaning way more towards the darker end of milds. This is more like I'd say like a best bitter that has more roastiness to it, so that it's got that kind of darkness to it, but on it's a lighter end of a dark mild or a mild. So as I was saying earlier on, you got your dark mild, which is kind of maybe perhaps kind of mild porters, and then you have your milds, which are kind of more similar to say like a best bitter or an English pale ale. So this is leaning towards more to the best bitter, but still has that kind of dark malt characteristics, perhaps a bit nutty caramel, that kind of leaning. It's got a decent amount of fruitiness there. It's coming through with those kind of dark berry fruits, maybe like I said on the nose, a bit of cherry. So that's coming through, but everything is quite on the soft side. That's all what this beer is about. It's about being able to drink a lot of them, sessionable. These are day drinking beers. You can session a bunch of these at the pub and not stagger out. It's low ABV, but you can't really. You're not thinking about it. Sometimes when you drink a low ABV beer, it's missing a bit of that kind of body. That's not what this is suffering from at all. This this is got a decent kind of body to it, despite it being a very sessionable beer. Bitterness is there. It's just enough to excite the kind of, the back of your mouth, you're dancing your tongue a little bit, but nothing crazy, nothing to the level of, like an English bitter or something like that. Just nice enough to keep you interested. And just works perfectly well with all of those other kind of, sessionable kind of flavors. So yeah, this is a really great beer. Yeah, as it's warming up a bit, it's getting that kind of berry flavor coming through, almost a bit raisiny, like I said, cherry, as it warms up. So I mean, I cracked this open after about 25 minutes coming out of the fridge, so should have been around 11, 12 degrees, and now it's warming up in the hand. It's probably up at, like, I don't know, 13, 14. So it's opening up even more. The aroma is coming through more. It is, yeah, that kind of biscuity caramel, and then mixed with those kind of fruits. Yeah, I like it because it does have enough malt sweetness, but in terms of a dark mode, it's a lot drier than you're expecting. So it does lean towards that kind of best bitter kind of heritage, just with that roasting that added into it, and it makes for every beer is described as balanced, but the balance here is that between that malt sweetness and then the drying, but they've managed to dry it with a bitterness that it doesn't linger. It hits you up front and goes, and that's the kind of sessionable mild element of this beer, which is just really great, and it all pairs together very well. And I bought a 4-pack of this, and I could drink all 4 quite happily. Probably shouldn't. It's a Wednesday, but whatever, man. I'm in a silly hat in a sauna in Finland. I feel like it's the culture to drink all 4 of these, one after the other. It's only 3.5%, lads. I mean, if you can't have a few 3.5%ers, I mean, what's the point, eh? I left my flat cap in the UK, otherwise I'd have that on. This was the closest to an English hat I could find. I feel like if you're going to drink a mild, you've got to be wearing some sort of hat. An ode to the English gentleman, or English lad, old chap, whatever you want to call him, sat propping up the bar. Got a few stories to tell on the milds. I think that, I mean, this is no more. Banks is no more, but I think that everyone, when they see a mild in the pub, just order it, because right now we have a Guinness craze. So, I mean, when I'm 38 now, when I was 18, 19, people thought of Guinness as like this super kind of heavy, you can only drink 1 or 2, then you're full up, and who the hell is drinking Guinness? Now Guinness is massive. Everyone's smashing Guinness, and they talk about how smooth it is, how easy drinking it is, and like all that kind of stuff, and whatever. Guinness has done some amazing marketing and branding, and that everything in the pour and the beauty, and there's all this thing about you pour the Guinness the right way, and which pub does the best Guinness. Cask beer is as much theatre in a pour, and also it takes way more skill to produce a cask beer in a pub that is beautiful. It is handed over to the publican, and the publican has work to do. The fermentation isn't done in the brewery. It's not finished there. It's finished in the pub. And so for me, if you want spectacle and theatre in a beer, get yourself an English cask ale. And what's more is, if you like Guinness because it's smooth and easy drinking and sessionable, and it's low ABV, it's 4.3%, get on the milds, lads, because this is 3.5%. It's smooth. You can drink a lot of them. It's a beautiful taste. It's got enough kind of roastiness and caramel, biscuitiness. It's got the fruity kind of hops and that yeast kind of sings that way, but it's not too much. So you can sink a bunch of them. I don't know, split whatever names on the glass. Because for me, I'm choosing a mild over a Guinness, and I love a Guinness, but I also love English beer, cask beer, and we've got to support it. And this is another brewery that's gone under, but there's a bunch of other breweries, new and old, that are making proper English beers, such as milds. And I think if the Guinness marketing team got hold of mild, you'd all be drinking milds. So just go and drink milds, boys and girls, because they're fucking beautiful. So cheers to that. Oh yeah. There's something, I don't know, cloying, is that the right word? There's something about a mild that keeps you going back for another sip, because it's almost like an almost. It teases you, like you're like, oh, was that a hint of chocolate? Is that a bit of coffee there? Like it's that kind of addictiveness of a taste profile that isn't. It doesn't just give it all to you. If someone, if you like someone and they just immediately fold and say, I like you too, that kind of relieves the tension a little bit. Whereas a mild is a bit like, bit of build up of tension. I don't know, mate. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think I do love a kind of a hint of something. I like a hint of a beer, and a mild is a hint of a beer. It's not your full smack in the face IPA. It's not your full roastiness of a porter or a stout. It is just, like it says on the tin, mild, which could sound like it's boring, but it's not, man. It's like a digestive biscuit. It's fucking great dipping a digestive biscuit in a tea. If you describe that to someone, they'd be like, that sounds very bland and boring. But we all know that it's beautiful, and you can't get enough of it when you're having it. That's a dark mild. That's a mild, boys and girls. You gotta try one, lads. You gotta try one, and let's keep this beer style alive. And I say that purely for selfish reasons, because I want to keep drinking milds, and I want breweries to keep producing them. So it's just a great beer. It's just a great beer. It's a great beer style. Ticks all the right boxes for me. Sometimes, I mean, we all love a grand beer. We all love a big tasting beer. Oh man, it's mango. Oh bloody hell, that's the most tropical thing I've ever tasted. Unbelievable kind of thing. Or chocolate, coffee, caramel stout that has coffee in it and like actual, I don't know, hundreds and thousands, and it's brewed with Lucky Charms cereal, and it's just like the sweetest but also most balanced thing you've ever tasted, and just wonderful. And some Swedish African man has brewed it in a church. Yeah, I'm talking about Omnipollo. But sometimes you just want to have a few pints of a digestive biscuit, and there you go, mate. Can we get back to sitting in a pub all day and not getting absolutely smashed on lighter ABV beers and just talking to each other? Like, we don't have to split the G, and we don't have to down a Guinness, and we don't have to drink 6-7% IPAs or drink 2 litres of a German Lagerstein. Can we just have a pint of 3.5% mild, please, boys? And just ask each other how we're doing. I want to know how you're doing, and I want to be drinking this whilst that's going on, and that's how we save England from a sauna in Finland. I think bucket hats are back because of Oasis, right? I don't look like too much of a tit in this bucket hat. Or even if I do, I'm a tit in a bucket hat drinking a mild, and I'm having a better day than you are, so. Yeah. Yeah. It is an actual sauna though. Like, look. Look at that. It's a proper sauna, lads. Every apartment in Finland has a sauna, so, and the Finns love a beer, so I'm in a sauna. It's not on, so I mean, yes, I'm sat in a sauna in a silly hat, but it could be worse. I could be sat here in just a towel, sweating, whilst drinking a really hot beer. So I'm being sensible, even if it doesn't look like it. I'm having a mild in a cold sauna. That is as mild as it gets, mate. It is as mild as it gets. It's not on. It's on, but it's not on. I wonder what a nitro mild is like. Do you reckon they could save mild by making it nitro and getting some tit with some silly posh hair to talk about how dare you pour my mild wrong? Like, oh, my mild is not cascading properly. How dare you, barman? You don't know how to pour a mild? Like, the cascade is all wrong. It's going at a rate that is suggesting that your lines are not used regularly enough. Yeah, I mean, I love Guinness, but sometimes I also just think, piss off. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you ever get, like Breaking Bad, the TV show? Guinness for me is like Breaking Bad, the TV show. Great show. I watched it as soon as it came out, and if you remember, season 1 came out and not many people were talking about it, and then all of a sudden it was like this kind of like secret show that was like, oh, Breaking Bad was awesome, but like not many people knew about it, and then all of a sudden it was like the biggest television show on the planet and everyone knew about it, and then I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, it's Breaking Bad, like, you know, but I bet you haven't seen The Sopranos kind of thing. That's what I feel about Guinness right now. I'm like, all you noobs are just trying to split the G. Like, we're on the milds now, boys. Like, milds is the new Guinness, mate. It's always been the Guinness. Like, it was the #1 beer forever. And if you drink it now, you're a fucking geezer, mate. So, drink a mild. Fuck splitting the G, mate. Down a mild and split a taxi home. Split a curry. I don't know. Split a bag of bacon fries and get 2 pints of mild and shut the fuck up. Trying something new in this video, being a little bit less boring. Let's see how it goes. I don't know. Maybe I come across as a bit of a tit. Hence the hat. But Banks is mild. Nah, it's fantastic, mate. Very sad that this is gone. This can came all beat up, so I might have to. I think all 4 of them came a bit beat up, so I might have to order another 4. Just I want to save it. I want to preserve the can. I want it to be on a shelf for the rest of my life, as a tribute to the brewery and the beer style. Which, who knows? If Guinness has their way, there'll be no other beer style other than lager and Guinness. So